always have been. In the ring and in business. 30 years of battles, rising, falling, rebuilding. I've made money, I've lost money, but it wasn't until I created Zapata Systems was I able to really climb my way out. But the toughest fight, it wasn't physical. It was watching money walk out the door week after week, whether to vendors charging too much or labor not justifying the revenue. That money stress, it doesn't always stay at work. It follows you home, turns into arguments, cold dinners, and broken peace. And then there's the IRS, back taxes, deadlines, pressure you can't punch your way out of. Zapata Systems shows you what you're really paying. It gives you control, leverage, and savings. This isn't about surviving. It's about winning. You're in a fight. Start acting like it. Zapata Systems. Fight smarter.
What's up, Greg? We're live Thursday. What is going on, brother?
Not a whole hell of a lot. Just celebrating last minute, fucking make me sweat. You know, for Aaron Judge to win the MVP.
Aaron Judge won the MVP, and it was close, right? He was almost lost it.
Well,
there, right?
it really wasn't close. It was they made it close because most people, you know, they're Yankee haters. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know, just like I hate the Dodgers, hate the Red Sox, blah blah blah. But I mean, like, you know, they hate the Yankees, so they don't want to see Aaron Judge win. A lot of guys,
course.
you know what I mean? But he had the only thing Cal Raleigh hadn't beat was in home runs and RBIs. Judge destroyed him in slugging. Judge destroyed him in WAR. Judge destroyed him in OPS. Judge destroyed him in on base. Judge destroyed him in walks. Judge destroyed. It's like it'd be, you know, and his batting average was .331. He was almost 100 points. Cal Raleigh was 247. 247 was his batting average, and he went on a splurge at the end there because he was hovering in 240, 242 the whole year. So how you going to give a fucking MVP 242, 240?
You can't.
So anyway,
yeah,
they make me sweat.
Just so everyone knows, this Saturday, guys, if you guys are going to be in New York at the Credit Union Arena in Suffolk, I'll be there with Goldberg, the wrestler. Mike Tyson's going to be there. I'm going to be there with Mike Tyson.
I'm Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson going to be there. Goldberg, Sting's going to be there. A bunch of wrestlers, Jake the Snake Roberts. So if you guys are there,
what's it, an expo or something like?
It is an expo.
Meet and greet.
Meet and greet. I'll be working the event. I'll be having the guy from Tulsa Kings, Mike Cashflow Warden, will be at our table. But a lot of wrestlers are going to be there, and Mike Tyson's going to be there. So if you guys are there, come on down, see me, say hello. You know, I could try and get some people, see you, say hello. So it's a good event this Saturday. All right, guys, let's say hello to people in the chat. We got Jacob says, you guys are great. Good show. Thank you. I don't know how to say that name. Ja something. See that? That's a crazy name. Yeah. Great White says, Greg.
What's going on, Great White?
Ben Garcia. I'm the first one on. What's up, fellas? What's going on, Ben? We got Joe, Lead Pipe Joe Palmieri, alive and well. Dan, Dan, what's going on, Dan?
Hey, Dan's here, yo.
Yeah,
I guess that lead pipe's supposed to be like a gas pipe castle.
Maybe. Got it. Yeah, good evening, gentlemen. What's going on? Then we got who else? Shine S. All good from Scotland. Yeah.
There you go, Scotland.
And then what we say?
William Wallace. I am William Wallace.
Yeah. Joe says, Lead Pipe Joe says, Joe, have Tyson sign your car. Yeah, we'll see. We got Steve Z says, they don't serve pork fried rice in the diner.
Steve Z, Steven.
You know who that is?
Yes, my friend. He's a good friend of mine. He's my boy.
William Allen said, Greg, did you receive your SNAP benefits?
What happened?
Did you, William Allen said, Greg, did you receive your SNAP benefits?
Yes.
You got everything? You're good?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You got your SNAP benefits? Greg, you know what's funny? I was on my phone and YouTube came up and I was on YouTube and your video popped up in my feed. Do you remember the one with the robbery where they came around with motorcycles? Do you remember the story?
What did you? Wait, you're talking about my story when
Your
back
story.
in yes. That's what when I was. Yes, you're talking about Washington Heights over that way. Yes.
It came up on my feed, and I haven't forgot that story for a while.
I
But
thought you were talking about something else. Go ahead. Yeah.
yeah, you
Yep.
remember it?
Yes, and then they
came around.
followed me right down to those are the stupidest motherfuckers I've ever seen in my life. But they followed me right down underneath where my friend Steve Z over there, underneath where he used to hang out over on Jerome Avenue under the L.
They tried to rob you?
Yeah, well, what happened was then they pulled up. They were banging on my fucking window because I tried to get away from them. They were fucking crazy. You know what I'm saying? And back then, I went to reach for it because I had a gun in my glove compartment. You know what I mean? And Jalissa had taken it out. So I forgot all about, I forgot that she took it. Otherwise, I probably would have been in jail because I would have going to shoot them. You know what I mean? I was ready to just fucking, because I could still see the one guy pulling on my door handle. I could see his face. You know what I'm saying? You know, I was going to fucking shoot him. I've been in a few situations where I probably would have done something where I would have fucking wound up the rest of my life in jail. You know?
You had a bullet hole in your car, right? A bullet hole?
In the back, in a frame. That was,
wow.
that was 1990. I don't remember when that was. That was late. Yeah.
You were still with Jalissa, right?
Yeah, no, wait a minute. No, so Jalissa had just died. So that was 2000. Yeah.
2000. Wow.
Yep. She just died. She died the same day Charlie Kirk died, except 25 years earlier.
Wow.
September 10th. Right. So she had just died. Yeah, because she had taken, I forgot that she had moved the gun. You know what I mean? And then, but I wound up getting arrested with that gun too. So that when you see my arrest, you can see the handgun there. You know what I'm saying? But I forgot she had taken it out, and then because I reached for it, because I was really good. I would have fucking shot these guys. I was like, they got me that fucking, I can still in my head see the guy fucking pulling on my door handle. Wow. But there was too many of them. They were hitting my car with pipes. They were fucking nuts.
Someone wanted me to ask you too about Jalissa. You guys when you were dating, you were clean. You never did any drugs. She was an heroin addict, correct?
Yeah. Yes.
Did you did you try and make her clean or get her
clean? She was clean, and then she stayed overnight. My son at the time was pitching a baseball game and stuff, so she went to stay with her friends. I was going to meet them, overnight, like the next day. Well, I met her Friday into Saturday, and Saturday night into Sundays when she died. You know what I mean? Because what I'm saying is I was with her, and then I left, and she said I'm going to stay here, go to the game, and then pick me up on Sunday, and then it was too late.
And she took something her body couldn't handle that.
Right. She did opiates. It's all opiates. I asked them, was it heroin? And I asked the coroner, and the coroner was a woman. She said, we're not sure. She might have had heroin. She had her body was loaded with opiates because she had taken like 7 different drugs. You know what I'm saying? She was also the kind like if she had a cold. Oh, you give me that. What do you got? Give me an Oxycontin. Give me this. I get, like take a lot of it too. You know what I mean? Like her friend was a male nurse, and I remember he would show her like look, I got this fucking the codeine, the cough syrup.
Yeah.
The big you're supposed to take a tablespoon. She would take them like this. Like drink that shit. Like I was like, but she didn't do that when she was. It's because she stayed with friends overnight, and she had I remember she had that cold, and then. That's what, she had taken too much shit, and that's basically what killed her. But there was heroin in the room, they said, what I mean? So she might have done that too.
Wow.
There was heroin in the room. Yeah.
Wow.
I can still see that guy's face, Joe, pulling on my door. That was fucking crazy.
I couldn't, I watched the story.
Because it was a car chase, and I thought I lost him because there's a part where Steve knows, where where you can go Jerome Avenue, you can go to Jerome Avenue right off of was it 100? Right underneath when Steve, when we leave, we go up the ramp. Before we would the way we would go home was we wouldn't go to you wouldn't understand. We didn't go to Sawmill. We would go to Major Deegan. So you go up that ramp, Steve. We go towards where you go to the bridge, but just before the bridge, you turn. Well,
in the Bronx, right? In the Bronx.
They have a detour sometimes. And then the detour would bring you to Jerome Avenue because they were always working on the bridge. So I figured that's the way I went. The detour I took that detour And I thought I would have lost them. And then when I got at a light, there's never fucking lights, and there was cars there, and I couldn't move. And all of a sudden, boom, these guys fucking pull up from behind me. And that was after I did that drug deal.
Did you try and hit him with your car?
No, I tried to take off. I was ready to, there was like fucking too many of them. You know what I mean? It was like eight of them. You know, it was a lot. Could have been, yeah, about 7 or 8. There was, you know, they were crazy. Yeah. So they were psycho, you know, and I wasn't going to fucking, you know, I thought I lost them because they were chasing me through Washington Heights, and I got off that. Normally I would go the other way, but I got off the fucking the detour ramp that they usually detour you to, which brings you to Jerome Avenue, come up Jerome, then hit fucking Fordham, and that's it. Now they followed me up there. When I got up there, you know, usually there's cops and shit down there by fucking Jerome, but there was no cops. It's like fucking 2, 3 in the morning. You know what I mean? So I blazed. I went through every fucking red light. You have no idea. And they were following me. And until I went on a major D, and then I went all the way up, you know, to Westchester and everything. And man, I was like fucking, I pulled over off the Bronx River because I wanted to see for short time, because I wanted to see if they were still behind me, because I didn't want them following me all the way home, you know what I mean? But I lost them then.
All right. Cool. Let's see. Ben Garcia says, damn, all those great events and pro wrestling conventions always in the East Coast. Yeah, it's a big show this weekend and Saturday. I might even try and if I can swing by you, Greg. I'll call you and let you know.
Oh, yeah, let me know. You know, that's the thing what you guys don't understand. When you live in New York, you know, obviously California is the same thing. But when you live in New York, you know, if you live in bumfuck, you know, wherever, or Cornstalk, USA, you don't get that. But here in New York, they have shit like that all the time.
Yeah, the big conventions here.
That's the one you go to every year, right, Joe?
Yeah, I work it twice a year. Twice a year I work that show, and there's big wrestlers, big time celebrities, everyone there.
Is that the Nassau Coliseum?
No, it's the Soulful Credit Union Arena. Okay. It's like Brendan Burns Arena. The Rutherlands is like that.
But it's Long Island, though, right?
Yes, right by Jimmy the Bull. It's right by Jimmy the Bull. So, all right, we got Wayne W. So let's go, boys. What's up, Wayne? John Saldy. What's up, boys? How you doing, John?
Saldy, what's going on? In case you're wondering, root beer, diet root beer.
John said, Greg, I remember this story. You told it on your Rambling Freak column.
Yeah, I think I told it on the story time. What do you story time? Generation Iron. Yeah, it was crazy, bro. That was the craziest fucking. You know, those guys are so stupid. You have no. I can tell you a million stories. I used to do drug deals with these guys. I gotta watch what I say, because you know some of my friends are still, you know.
Yeah, Ben.
You know who I think you might know what I'm talking about. But you know, one of the guys is a bodybuilder. They would walk down the street with fucking, like, I'd go there, pick up cannonballs. This wasn't this time I was, you know, supposed to buy shit, but that's neither here nor there. I would walk down the street. My friend would come down the street with cannonballs and shit and fucking D-balls in a big clear plastic bag, and the cops would be fucking coming up. I'd be like, dude, you're walking on the street with that to meet me, you know, to meet me. And I'm like, oh my God, you know, it was.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I texted
those were friends with somebody, you know what I'm talking about? It is fucking
yeah, exactly. Ben Garcia said, Jasmine Ghetto Crockett, I bet, is receiving SNAP benefits, even though her entitled stealing ass is loaded with undeserved money. Oh no. No. Nope, says Timo Alex Jones. Ben says, Greg, do you think Trump will pardon Amin with Roger Stone's help?
Well, would Trump pardon Amin? No.
That's what it says, no.
No, this guy's, you know, he can't.
Yeah. No. Like I said, I sent Amin a message today. Sent him a text message just wishing him the best and just stay positive or whatever. You know, when he had a little something to say, because he was turning himself in, whatever. So.
Yeah, no, he's not gonna. He can't do that. He can't just, you know, pardon because he, you know what I'm saying? Plus, I don't know what it means. I don't know what the whole deal is. Do you understand with that whole thing? I mean, I know what happened, but you know, you guys, I just told Joe off the air really fast. There was a woman, okay, who her next door neighbor, I guess with a lawnmower or something, I don't know, somehow or other, she hit a beehive, right? And the bees swarmed her and started stinging the shit out of her, and she went into like shock, and she, you know, she had I guess she's allergic to bees, so she's on the grass and she can't breathe. So the next door neighbor, a woman, goes running in her own house, grabs a fucking EpiPen that she had, ran outside and administered the EpiPen. And she saved the woman's life. But you know what they said? You can't administer that. You're not a doctor. You have no idea. How do you know that that couldn't kill her, or that dose or whatever? You know what I mean? So she actually got arrested. I think she got away with it. Like, I think the court, eventually threw it out or something or whatever.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is you can't administer shit. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, let's say, Joe, you were going to give your brother a shot at test, and, you hit a fucking, I don't know, you shot it into a vein or something, and your brother fucking faints and all that shit, and you have to take him to the hospital, and they find out that you gave him an injection. You're administering drugs. You're not even though that's your brother and he's not going to press charges on you. They can get you on the stupidest shit like that. So I'm just letting you guys know. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what the story is with Amin. I don't. I mean, I like Amin a lot. He's a great guy. But, you read between the lines.
Yep. Craig Velasquez says, it's official. Aaron Judge is the 2025 MVP. Well deserved. That is correct.
I watched it. I just watched it. Did you watch? They wait to the fucking, like, okay, like with 1 minute left in the show, they pull you by your dick so they know. And, after this next commercial, and you're like, yo, motherfucker. You know what I mean? They keep doing that. So I watched it. So that's,
John Soldi, OFC, the Deegan 87.
The what?
I don't know. The Deegan 87. What is that?
Oh, the Deegan. Yes. I'm sorry, John. My brain is shot. Yes, the Deegan, the Major Deegan, he's talking about this 87, Route 87. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's the way you can get into the city that way, or you get into the city. Some guys take the Sawmill. John, you're from up around me, so you could take the Sawmill straight down to the, to the Henry Hudson, blah 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 blah, or you could take the Bronx River. I usually used to take home. I would just go over the little piece of the ramp of the GW Bridge, go down to 87, and go home that way. Yep. But this time I went off. This time I figured, fuck it, I'll hit the Bronx, go through the Bronx, and come home to the GW. So I hit the Jerome Avenue. They usually detour when they work on the bridge. They detour you.
Yep. My brother George says, be sure to get your digital ID. Shaking my head. Yeah, do you see that? We got it now. They're going to have the digital ID now.
For what?
For your ID, for your license now. It's going to be like you got to get it on your phone and stuff. You're going to have a digital ID. So now we're screwed no matter what. All digital IDs.
Really? I don't know too much about any of that shit.
Yeah, they kind of just came out there. They're prepping that. Dan said, Greg, I'm glad you're out of that lifestyle.
Oh yeah, Dan, I've been out of that for a long time. Thank you. It was bad, but you know what is? Actually, it's funny you say that, Dan, because when I did get arrested, right, the first thing I thought of was, okay, so this is how it ends. You know what I mean? Like you're making a lot of money, but the pressure on you and the constant having to look over your shoulder and worry about shit. And I was dealing with a lot of bad people. You know what I mean? So that kind of, you're worried, like, am I going to get killed? Because, I dealt with some fucking losers, bro. And I could have got killed a couple times. I mean, it was bad. I was getting big amounts because I was selling to other dealers. So I wasn't like, just some kid in the gym. Yeah, I want to buy a test. Sure, here you go. It wasn't like that. So I was getting big amounts, and that causes bigger problems. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's what, but it's been 25 years. So that's a long time ago.
Yep. Charlie Arms gives us $2. He says, sorry for your loss, Greg. Wish I could have helped.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Charlie.
John Sawyer said, Greg, Suffolk County is about an hour from U.S. New York.
Yeah, he's talking about Islip, New York. Wait, where John? But John, you're still up here, aren't you? Aren't you still in Westchester? John's still in Westchester, right? I know it's Suffolk is where you're going, I think.
Yeah,
right, George.
I'm going to Suffolk County. Yeah, I'm over there by Jimmy the Bull.
Yes.
Ben Garcia said, Greg and Joe, did you get a chance to talk to Victor Martinez? Damn, he went straight to some crazy shit. Health-wise, yes.
Yes, he did. I did talk to him for a short period of time. Yes.
Yes, I talked to him also.
Yeah.
He's coming on our show. He said he's going to come on with us.
Yeah.
But when I talked to him, he was in the hospital getting the test, and he's like, Joe, I want to come on with you and Greg, but he's like, let me just finish the test and stuff. I said, yeah, take your time, man. He's been doing the show Generation Iron, and he's just said,
Victor's my boy. I've been friends with Victor. My God, long time. You're talking like maybe 1990 or something like that. You're talking a long time ago.
Yeah, and on Monday we were on John Livier's show. We were on
John
John Living's
Living,
show with Lee Priest and everyone. Guys get a chance to watch that. It was a good show. Joe Leadpipe said Roger left that chat quietly.
Why was he on there? I didn't see it. I think you know what it is. I got on there late. I got on there not late, but I mean I was late. I think it was like 5-10 minutes late. So I didn't see if Roger Stone was on there.
Yeah, I didn't see anything.
So I didn't. You know what's funny? I didn't even know that. So you just said it.
Willie Mount said Trump can't the pardon on the atropine.
I don't know what that. No, William Allen. Trump is not going to just like there's a lot of people that are going to be just. You can't. I mean, I wish he could do it, but he can't. He's got like a lot of shit on his plate. He's worried about like, we're minnows. Damn. Do you understand? We're just minnows. He's got other people that are big fucking people that have made, congressmen that have been fucked over and other people, business people that like, we're minnows. They don't give a shit about minnows. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, I hope Amin gets pardoned. I do. I love Amin, but I don't see it happening.
I don't know if it's going to happen.
I got to measure everything I say. You don't understand. I play around on here. Willie Man, you talk about the food stamps and more. I fool around on here, but I got to watch everything I say when I talk about people because everybody is so fucking sensitive. Some of the people, like. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So I got to watch, I got to measure. So I'm measuring my words when I say certain shit,
Yeah.
Things
people
I can
very
tell
sensitive.
you. Very sensitive. There's things I could tell you and shit. Even like Joe, when you were talking about the chase, that whole car thing, I could tell you a lot about that. But, it's like walking through a minefield. So, oh, bro, you talked about that shit. Though you to bring my name. I don't want anything but a fucking name being brought up and shit. I got to watch. It's everybody's so ass sensitive. Even though shit could have been 25, 30 years ago. That was at least 25 or more. But I'm just saying, it's everybody's ass sensitive. So I got to, walk through that mind.
Yeah, even it's funny. Even on I do the other show, the movie show I do, we were talking about Brendan Fraser's returning for The Mummy 4, and we were talking about it. He's up there in age. He had some health issues, and we said we don't think. And people were like, "Oh, you guys are making fun of him because he's," we're like, "No, he's older. He can't do the role that much anymore. He can't do the thing." And people,
what happens?
It's crazy. These people.
These guys also, they run back to the people and then they make it seem like you're talking shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so I gotta,
shit about him.
like, listen, I like Amin. I hope to God he gets out of there. I feel bad for him. He's not a bad guy. I also like Andy Hammond a lot. And Andy Hammond's family has a totally different view on this situation. Rightfully so. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you got to walk. I got to walk without fucking stepping on eggshells. Let's just say, that I wish I could wave a wand and make Andy Hammond come back to life. He was a great guy. Dude, that guy was so good. You have no idea. When I used to, like, we would do videos, me and him together sometimes. If I would curse, he would never curse. I'd be like, let's do the middle thing. We do this for the camera. And he would never do it. He'd go like this. He'd go, nah, you never know. There could be kids watching. So he was a good guy. He was a really good guy.
Yeah, exactly.
He had morals and shit. Like he was very family oriented. He would show me videos of him and his family because they were trying to do this like reality show thing, and he was proud of his son. Even his wife was involved. So he was a really good guy. You know what I mean? And I like Amin too. It's just an unfortunate thing.
That's right. And the only thing that I can say, Greg, and I don't want to step on
right
stuff is that when Amin was sentenced, Andy's parents were there, okay, and they got to say a few words.
Oh, they did. I didn't know any of that.
Yeah, they did. And they said some harsh things towards Amin. And Amin was like, oh, the parents said this about me. And I thought they were religious. And instead, they lost their kid. So they're going to say, hey, I wish he gets life. You got to, we know Amin, but Andy, was a good guy, like you said. It's really tough.
I didn't know that. I didn't. Yeah.
And
even when he comes on, when I talk with Amin, I don't talk about any of that stuff because I don't want to get involved.
Exactly.
People suck you, and there's people right now could run, hey, Amin, Joe and Joseph, talking shit about you. No, nobody talks shit about anybody. You know what I mean? It's unfortunate, but do you blame Andy Hammond's parents? I don't blame.
No, you don't.
Come on, you got to understand that, would have to understand that too. You should understand what it's like. Why would if they didn't get upset? I think there's something wrong with them. Do you understand
Of
what I'm saying?
course.
So it's a normal thing. But again, you gotta walk on eggshells, because
Mhm.
people think it's like I'm constantly walking on a minefield. Even when I tell stories, a lot of times you hear me say, I can't say who it is. Some of you guys know, there's people in this that were involved with me, but I can't say their fucking names or bring it up because then they get fucking butthurt. They
Yeah.
think like, well, you're throwing shade. Even though
Yeah.
it could have been, shit like that happened 25, 30 years ago. And some of the stories I told and, did 30 years ago, but I gotta measure every little fucking, because butt hurts. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
And
Yep.
psychos. I was around some psychos. I got to watch because some of those guys are still fucking
Yeah.
nuts.
Because one or two things get out of hand, and the next thing you know, you get ambushed.
Yeah, and
You know
then
what I mean?
people take the slightest little thing you say and they twist it like a fucking nipple. You know what I mean? Like, I play around a lot on here. We'll joke around, we'll say shit, but I mean, like, you got to be careful with certain things, and people get nuts. And so
Yeah, the dude in 1983 said, "We got Bush."
Yes, we do. I love Bush. The Devil's Triangle.
Corey Hanks says, "What's your guys' thoughts on the recent Jordan Roden sexual assault allegations? Do you think he'll beat the case, or can you see him get arrested?"
Well, if he doesn't beat the case, he's dead. So I don't know what they could do to him unless they can't. He's not facing life. Let's put it that way. Corey, I don't know if that's a joke or not, but Jordan Roden's dead. He passed away. So and it's not too recent. That case is like 5, 6, 7 years old.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, William Allen said, "Trump can't blame the pardon on the auto pen."
No, he can't.
No, he can't.
Listen, I don't understand how the fucking Democrats, you people don't understand. With the SNAP benefits, with the fucking, the air traffic controls, with all the people not getting paid, all the fucking, and the Democrats were like, well, we want to, we want it open. We want people to get, people are suffering. And the minute a couple of them went with the Republicans and opened it up, they were like, that's bullshit, fuck, shit. So it proves to you they didn't want it open. You understand? It's all bullshit, man. The bullshit is unfucking believable.
The Swede said, "Greg, did you ever consider selling recreational drugs like coke and weed since you were already selling so many steroids?"
No, but I got to be. I'm not going to bullshit you, Swede. I was in on one weed deal only because I knew somebody and I knew the other person who was selling stuff. So I kind of, I introduced them and I got a couple bucks for it. But you're talking, that was maybe 1995, but I personally never touched it with my hands. I just hooked the two people together and here's your fucking, here's your nice fee. And it was a nice fee.
Wow.
What
was the most amount of cash you ever had in a deal go passing through your hands?
$136,000 in a duffel bag.
Wow.
And you know what the craziest thing is? Well,
what?
Again, got to watch everything I say because I was in with a couple of people and that was that was a great day, but it was also great. Do you know that they paid us? I was dealing with some Latinos, let's just say, and
I don't know what you're talking about.
And it wasn't steroids either. Okay, that was something else, and it wasn't nothing harsh, but it was something else, and I never touched it. But again, I put two people together, they made the deal. But the thing is, we had to sit in a hotel room and count the fucking money, Joe, and some of it was in singles. Do you have any idea? Do you have any idea how much? Because I think the one guy ran a strip club. Do you have any idea how much it is to try to count out $136,000? And it was mostly singles, fives, tens, some 20. It was some hundreds and some 50s, but most of it was literally smaller bills. And that we had to sit there with fucking garbage bags like that. It was like, and we were going like, bro, we need to get a fucking money counter because you got to count it. And then you got to make sure that, it's exact. And I got to give it to, it was a bunch of us that were in there, well, not a bunch, just three on my side. And, we would have to, each one would recount it, because that was fucked. Again, that was all the 1990s. The 90s was a crazy, for me, was insane. I did shit and, I walked a tightrope like fucking high wire many times where I could have got killed. It was bad situations. Bad. When I look back at it now, even tell Lucia sometimes, like sometimes at night I'll be sitting sweating. I'll be like, why didn't I fucking, because you say, like, that's like you going in a lion's cage. Your next door neighbor's got this fucking giant lion, and you go in there to fucking pet it, and the fucking thing almost starts to rip you apart, and you get out, and you got the door closed, and you slam it closed, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you go, holy fuck, man, that was crazy. The lion almost killed me. And a fucking month later, you go back in that same lion's cage, and, the lion starts pouncing on you again, and you do it again until you say, one day you're like, and when you look back on it, you're like, what the fuck was I thinking? You know what I mean? Like, I did some fucking crazy things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I did some crazy things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know you did.
But, I did some things that I never got caught for. But, back then, never to hurt nobody, like beating people or killing people. But I'm just talking about, like, like I did a bad thing.
Did you ever do that thing that you sent me today? That video that you sent me?
No. That was fucking nuts, dude. I sent it to my friend who was a cop, and he started sending me back all this other shit too. But
that's people
you didn't send it to Morella, did you?
I did.
Did you send it to George?
I didn't send it to George. I will send it to George.
I
did send it to George. I did send it to George. Yes, I sent it to both of us.
Did Morella tell you get out of line, and that's going to happen to you?
Yeah. John Sully said, yes, I'm in Pleasantville. Here, guys.
Yeah, John, that's what I knew you were I'm pretty sure, but when I wasn't sure if you were saying like also that you were in Suffolk now or something like that. But I know what you meant. You were talking about Jesus Christ, Joe. I'm calling George by his brother's name.
Is Victor okay?
Yeah, that's where the show is, right?
Victor's okay. He's hanging in there. Victor's hanging in there.
Yeah,
he's doing all right.
He's talking about when I was questioning if he was down in Suffolk County.
Knight Rider says, from December in Australia, you can't have an internet account unless you're over 16. And that by default means you got to have digital ID to process you're over 16. Wow.
I don't know if it's the internet. Maybe you're right, Knight Rider. I have no idea what's going on. But I did hear that I know in some countries now they're trying to do a thing where you can't go on social media. You cannot go on like Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, all those fucking things that fuck up your brain. You know what I mean? Like, that you start thinking crazy shit. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Linda McChance says, Gregg was a mean and good spirits when you last talked to him. Did you give him your enema protocol for his time in prison?
I think he'll get his own enemas in there. No, I just talked to him on the show. I didn't really talk to him. You got to understand something. I love him. I mean, I have to walk. I don't like to get too involved with that. Because even when you try to do a guy a favor, okay? For instance, I'm going to say it anyway, Joe. I don't give a fuck. Like, can I say it?
Go ahead.
All right, I'm going to say it anyway. All right. For instance, like, Joe, if I say he's probably going to get pissed, right?
Well, what is,
but anyway, like the thing we talked about. But listen, for instance, like, let's say Joe.
Okay.
Linda, read between the lines here what I'm saying. Let's say Joe let's say I was going to be in trouble if that was me, and I said to Joe, can you Joe's going to do me a favor. Joe's been putting me up on a show every day. We're doing stuff, and to get now all of a sudden I'm going to be getting in trouble or something. And I asked Joe, can you do me a favor? I want you to maybe do a hashtag or something for me, so I can, whatever. And Joe says he'll do it, but he never gets to doing it. Maybe because Joe's got a lot of things. Joe's going through a divorce. Joe's not going through a divorce. Okay, I'm using this example. Read between the lines. Okay, and Joe isn't so quick to do it right away. He forgets. Says he's going to be forgets. Now I'm pissed, you motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like, you can't do that. You can't. Do you understand? Like, so sometimes even when you're trying to help somebody, you do all this shit to help them. Joe does all the shit. Let's say I'm in trouble and I go on a show to talk about it all the time, to air it out and all that stuff. Okay, I'm just I'm not his co-host. I'm a guest or something. And then eventually, I get pissed. There's some people you can't help. You understand? No matter what you do, it's not enough. You said you were going to do this. You said you were going to do that.
Yeah.
Joe, let's say, Joe's already put up like GoFundMe's for me and all this other shit. Let's just use an example. And we're going to help me in my legal costs. It's still not enough. I want more. Do you understand? And then you become a prick. The person,
Yeah.
Trying to help
Read
you.
between lines, folks.
Read between. I gotta
between
try. See,
lines.
I'm talking around like this.
Yes. Read
Because
between
I'm
lines.
not,
You guys are smart enough to figure it
second
out.
big man, I went up sticking my fucking nasty
Yeah,
foot
then
in my
people are
own
like,
mouth.
"What did you say?" But let's wish the best for Amin. Hopefully, it goes by quick.
Yes.
Then we say, let's see. Ben Garcia said, "Greg, if you get a chance to speak to Jimmy, I want to apologize for my over the top fat comments in RX After Hour. You know the chat. You can just help."
Oh yeah. I remember.
I love
I'll
Jimmy.
tell you, just playing. Don't worry about it. It's already out of his. It's out of his mind. Trust me. He don't. When you say it's when Dave says it to him, Jimmy, you're looking at that. That'll get Jimmy. Like, you call me fat. Like when we were at a breakfast. No, we were at lunch together, me and Jimmy. And I videotaped Jimmy because he was pissed. And he was like, telling Dave, you talk about my fucking chins and shit. Do I have fucking, look at me, Greg. Do I have fat chins? Look at my chins, huh? Who's gonna fucking double chin? It's when he's over what you said. Trust me. But I'll make sure, Ben. I got your back. Don't worry about it.
Joe Matarat says, was having a tough day, but was thinking about Amin more than anything. Sure, he's going through a more entering this new chapter. Yes,
I agree. Listen, Joe Matarazzi, Venom 123. I like those names. Where'd you get them? Very original. No, I agree with you, and I feel bad for Amin. I was in that position. I know what it's like. You get nervous. You think of your family and all the bullshit. But that's he's been prepared for this. This didn't just pop up.
Night Rider says, everyone, can we all say a prayer for Amin's butthole? It's funny. Okay. I like turtles. Why do you have sunglasses on indoors?
Because I have bad eyes. You see, I guess you're new to this. I have a. Can you see these lights right here? And when I look in the light, can you see my eye? I don't know if I can. I look like I'm fucking hard. Can you see it, Joe?
Yes.
It's a bad eye. That's the good eye. That's the bad eye. Do you see it? Looks like it. I have to look. I'm trying to look. All right, look. Maybe if I look like that, can you see it?
Yeah. Well, I can see it. Yeah. One's
different
color.
See, it looks like two different colors. One is a giant pupil. So I have lights here so you can see me, and that blinds me. Okay. So when I look, did you see this is my normal eye? That's the bad eye. Do you understand? So when I look, see now if I look in the light now, I look here at you guys. Look, I feel like look what I look like. I'm like, ah. Anyway,
you look like Curly Howard.
I don't wear it because I think I'm fucking swift. When we go out to, Joe, when we went to that restaurant, you, me, Jimmy the Bull, Lee, Jason Arntz, all them, Livia, we were there. You sat at that end. When I'm sitting here, I was like that. Remember the other side, like this, where
yeah.
Where they were sitting with Jason Arntz and
yes.
that was all light. It was when we first got there, the fucking sun. I was like this, and I took off my sunglasses because I figured we're in a play, and then I had to put them on just for like 5-10 minutes so that sun kind of broke. Otherwise, if I have to go from my house right to the mailbox, I got to put sunglasses on if it's sunny out, because when I get in, I will see a giant spot and I will be blind. And unfortunately, right now, I have this thing. I'm 65 years old. Okay. So I have this thing. It's called, you get a floater or floaters, right? You don't, it's not like, my mom had floaters. No, this thing, my eye, I'm fine. I'm talking to a guy in the gym and all of a sudden like this. And I'm like, what the fuck was that? And it's like somebody put a fucking hand in front of my bad fucking eye. Okay. Which is, which has a lens implant. So right now, Joe, I think you noticed, right? I've been going to the eye doctor, right?
Mm-hmm.
I still have to go back. I got this float. I hope I don't have surgery. Anyway, I get this fucking floater and this fucking, in the bad eye. So now it looks like when I'm talking to you guys, it's almost like if I cover like my eyeball like this, it's huge. It's a thing that happens. I forgot what they call it. You can Google it when sometimes you get it. It happens when people get older,
right?
But it just happens. You'll be fine like this, and all of a sudden, I was talking to a guy in the gym, and all of a sudden, boom, like somebody dropped a fucking curtain down. You know what I mean, on my one eye, and I'm like, wait a minute, why can't I see him? So now I got the double fucking whammy in that eye. So the light kills me, and then I got this fucking floater that sometimes I'm sitting here at night, and I'm like, I think that somebody's walking around the house, but it's the fucking floater in your eye. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So anyway. So that's what I'm sorry. I'm talking.
Son of Sammy Davis says, "Hey guys, Greg, I don't know if Joe told you, but we won our championship game. I really couldn't tune in
That
yesterday
boy,
because
Nick.
I was working, but I appreciate the kind words last week and took your advice.
Thank you, Nick. God bless you, Nick. You're good. Joe has a very. Just talk about Joe Pietaro.
Joe Pietaro, yeah.
Yeah, Joe has a very high opinion, Nick. Let me tell you something. And he tells me you're a phenomenal guy, so I believe him. And God bless you. You know, you're a great athlete too. By the way, Joe, Nick, the fucking, when I was waiting to get on the show here with Joe, I'm sitting there going, please God, it's almost fucking 8:00. And right at like 7:58, they fucking announced, like,
Judge wins.
Judge wins the MVP. Because I was so afraid they were going to fuck him because, everybody hates the Yankees. So they love it when a Yankee fails. But I mean, like, Cal Raleigh hit 257. The only thing he had was more home runs, more. The Judge destroyed him in OPS by like fucking ridiculous amount. Fucking Warry destroyed him, and he destroyed him on base, on slugging, on every fucking area. And Judge was hurt. Played hurt, and he still hit 53 home runs. So I'll fumble you.
Yeah, William Allen says, with AI, actors and actresses are going to be extinct. Yeah, probably. They're doing
what's funny, dude? Listen, if AI comes around and it soon, I might have to throw my girlfriend out of the house and get an AI girl. That doesn't fucking give me the back talk and fucking break my balls and shit.
Maybe they can make AI mother-in-law.
Yeah, hot one instead of a fucking grimace or whatever that fucking.
Yeah, just think of all the metal they're gonna need now.
The fucking dude, I was like, please God, lift what do you call that? The shutdown, lift the shutdown, please God. But they still drove her to Mexico. The plane was like flying sideways like this and shit. Where she was sitting. We were so afraid.
Where did she sit, in the back or in the front or aside when the plane was like this?
The plane was like wherever side she was sitting, it was flying. Lucia is even like, oh God, please let her, please don't let that fucking shutdown stop. Please, God, because she just left like 2 days ago, so the shutdown was still there. But they flew her to Mexico, and my girlfriend messaged her father like like happy no one day. You know what I mean? It's
yeah.
Wow. The mother.
Bye, Mom. That plane must have been flying real low.
Holy shit! If you only knew. If you only fucking knew.
I bet, right? It was crazy. Ben Garcia said, Joe, praying my prayers for Mike Rotundo, IRS. He's out of rehab, healthy again. Is he healthy again? Hope you interview him. Probably won't be a while though. No, Mike Rotundo, he's out of hospice, but he's not doing well.
What's IRS? What does that mean?
That was his gimmick when he was wrestling.
Okay.
He was a wrestling name, IRS. He's a wrestler.
I thought it was an IRS agent or something.
No, but that was one of his things. But no, he's not doing well.
Well, Mike Rotundo, best wishes to you.
Ellen Degenerate says, "Is it a prerequisite to be bald and Italian to be in the chat?" Okay, I get it.
Well, it could be. Are you bald? Are you bald or no? Whoever that is, Ellen Degenerate. I know it's not really, obviously. You know what I mean?
What's up, Mobo? What's up, Ruben?
You know what's funny? I had hair, and all of a sudden I started taking the fucking Babani, and it went bye-bye. That's the only thing. I never got bitch tits, didn't get ball shrinkage, didn't get zits on the back, but I did get fucking. And meanwhile, I have no. Lee Priest breaks my nuts. He goes to me, "What do you shave your legs?" And I go, "No, I don't fucking shave my legs. Look real close." And you look real. I have basically no hair on my legs, but it's like this. It's so slight. It's not even. There's no length to it. It's like I could go on a. I could go on stage and never shave my leg. But there's no hair. You know what I mean? But it's a genetic thing.
Yeah. Ellen Degenerate says, for a guy who claims to not be on eggshells, he's still playing his cards close to his chest. What gives?
Well, I got to, that's the way I am. You know what? Listen. Who said that? Ellen DeGeneres? Did you ever sit back in a chair like this? And the chair go like this, and you feel like, oh shit, I almost went forward a little bit back. Mm-hmm. That's the way I lived my whole life. I lived my whole life like on the back. Like when you feel that feeling right there is the way I live my life. I do walk on eggshells constantly because I don't want to hurt people's feelings. I could be a prick and fucking hurt. I could say shit. You guys would you would all be bald. Your hair'd fall out. But I'm not going to do that shit. And and that's the way that is.
Travis McDonald said, Greg, have you been in touch with Big Rob lately?
Yes. And my girlfriend talks to Big Rob all the time. Big Rob's a great guy. I like Big Rob. I don't know what happened between him and Joe. But I understand. Joe understands. Joe says, hey, listen, if you like him, that's okay. It's no problem. He's talking about Joe Pietaro. There's no problem. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I like Big Rob. I think he's a great guy. I think he's funny. I like him. You know what I mean? But I don't get mad at, listen, he's done nothing to me that I should, I don't know what the story is with him and Joe. I don't. I never asked him. But it's just like Steve Blackman. Steve Blackman called me when I was in the hospital. Okay.
Yeah.
He still texts me. He fucking wishes me, like, Happy Father's Day. He wishes me, Merry Christmas, all that shit. I'm not going to fucking blast him. If John and Dave want to do that, they're my friends, John. Dave was just at my house last week, here in New York. I'm not going to, we're all friends, but that doesn't mean your enemy got to be my enemy. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That's the way it is.
William Allen said the Democrats are pissed because Trump made it harder to line their pockets from insurance and pharmaceutical companies.
William Allen, man, the shit that was in the bill that they wanted to pass, like fucking circumcisions in Zimbabwe and, like transgender fucking studies and fucking, Boca Raton, whatever the fuck, Boca, whatever, some bullshit, it's country you never heard of. And you're like, wait, who fucking brings these bills up? And they want millions of dollars, for that shit.
Yep. You got to be a freak. Remember when
there he is.
Remember when Hayabusa got paralyzed in the ring? Yes. In 2001, he did a moonsault and got paralyzed.
Oh,
yes.
I don't understand. Listen, I got to tell you something. That fucking, like even that guy. See, I don't follow wrestling. But when my son was a little boy, when I was juiced out of my fucking gourd, right? I was 270. I was so fucking big. And I was sitting in the fucking first section of I was about 5-6 rows from the actual ring. But that section right there, right? And The Rock and all these guys come out like because they're looking at me and shit because I was so big. I was sitting there, and I saw that big show guy. The Big Show, that guy.
Yeah, I'm a Big Show.
Dude, that fucking guy is so big, and I seen him jump over the ropes like this into the ring. To be that big and that fucking agile and that athletic, some of those guys are fucking amazing. The shit I saw them do. I was in Madison Square Garden with my son, who was like 8 or 9 years old, and I was like, holy shit, to just see somebody, they were climbing up on, that's back when those two brothers would climb up on a fucking ladder and they fucking jump fucking up in the air. Dude, that's some crazy shit. Those guys are definitely athletic. That's all I can say. I've never seen anything like that. That Big Show guy was 400 something, and I seen him jump over the ring just with no hands, not touching. This was like fucking unbelievable.
Wrestling is predetermined, but it's as far as being fake. You really have to know what you're doing in that ring.
Well, the athleticism for that shit. I don't understand how more guys don't. When you jump off a ladder, you're on top of that cage, and then you jump off, and you onto a fucking table that's over there.
Yep.
Dude, I don't know how more guys don't break their necks doing that shit. That's fucking crazy.
When you get slammed in a wrestling ring, people think it's it's a mattress. It's not. It's pretty hard.
No, dude.
It's like a padding.
Dude, Joe, I've pulled my back. I've hurt my back putting on my socks. The only kind of beer I drink right here, brother, root beer.
AR says, "Hey Greg, when you were selling gear, did you ever work with the mob or only street gangs?"
Street gangs, no mob. I don't want to. One guy was with the mob that I dealt with. Okay, he was a partner of mine, but that was very bad, and that was not a good thing. And Jonah's extremely famous. But when you're around those guys, it's not a good thing. Let's just tell you that. And let me tell you something about these guys, man. They fuck each other over too. It's unbelievable. I don't want to get too deep into that, but there's a lot of guys fuck each other. The guys I dealt with, the street guys, because I dealt with a Latin doctor and a Latin street gang, you can figure it out. Okay. Some of those guys were conniving, fucking dirty motherfuckers. They were stupid as hell. They couldn't even, they had no idea what steroids were. They didn't even know. All right. But they were doing it. There was a doctor, get it for the doctor. The doctor didn't want to deal with anybody. You deal with this guy. And we would deal with it. And they would constantly fuck with us, constantly. Because they're schells. They're dirty motherfuckers. They're used to selling weed and coke and all that shit,
Yeah. Ruben Sand says, "Are you talking about Dave?" Well, Ruben, you're pretty hot.
Talking about, we're behind. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Let's see. Maybe. Yeah. Nano narratives. Guys, when you are dieting, do you have a deal to deal with being flat? How do you deal with being flat?
When we were dining. Oh, so you're saying I eat a meal. Oh, dieting. How did I deal with being flat? Most guys do it like this. I'm going to tell you what most pros do it. You know your own body. So if you're feeling a little flat, you just raise your carbs a little bit. If you're feeling a little bloated, like I feel like I'm holding a little water tip. I'm a little bit bloated. I'm a little bit thick today. Like it's not good though. It's a bloat thickness. They would cut the carbs back. You basically go meal to meal. Listen to me. All you guys say, I don't believe in counting calories. That's stupid. Okay. I know guys do that. Some guys do that just before a show. I understand it. I don't like it. Every day's different. If you decided that today you're going to, I don't know, go out and fucking fix your car, clean the fucking garage, or maybe do something in your bedroom, you just burnt more calories than you did tomorrow when you're going to just lay around nothing, do video games. Boo, 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 boo. So you don't need to, you don't realize that every day your calorie needs change. And every day your body's different. You have what's called biorhythms. There's some days, you ever notice you could jerk off and then you're still horny after that? And then other times you want to jerk off, but your dick's just not responding. It's called biorhythms. It's certain times of the month that so you got to go by the day. That's instinctive. That's what instinctive training is about. Instinctive dieting. And that's how you got to do it. You got to know that, look, I feel a little fat today. I feel a little bloated. My gut's out a little bit today, so I'm going to cut back on my carbs. Or if I feel flat and skinny, I'll bring up my carbs a little bit. That's the way. But sometimes it goes meal to meal.
Mm-hmm. Loho says, guys, thoughts on X-Man Tony Freeman? He's a bodybuilder. I don't know too much about him.
I know him. Great guy. I like him. Great guy.
Ben Garcia said, did Jason Arntz wrestle as enhancement talent for WF in the mid-90s? I don't know. I got to ask Jason.
Gee, I'll ask him. I don't know. He's a good guy, though. I like Jason.
Holly Holmes. Hey, fellas. Hey,
Holly, how you doing?
I know she was on a trip with Raleigh Winkler.
Yeah, how's our boy Raleigh doing? Give him my love.
Steve Z. I'm back, guys. I had a floater also, but the plunger took care of it. The plunger took care of it.
Yeah, I'll bet it did, Steven.
Mm-hmm.
Steve's like a brother to me. He's like he's my guy. You know what I'm saying? I've known Steve since he's like fucking 7-8 years old or whatever it was.
The poor Holly Holmes says,
by the way, he was a ball breaker then and he's a ball breaker now.
Wow.
Steven.
Holly Holmes says, oh my God, poor mother-in-law. Greg, how does your mother-in-law put her seatbelt on the plane?
That's a good question. I don't know. I think she takes up 2 seats. So you got to take this one from this.
Do they tie them?
Dude, you know how some people take 2 seats? Steve, my boy Steve knows. We have a friend that's got a lot of money and he has to he takes 2 seats. He's got a lot of scuttle. He takes 2 seats in front. He'll have 1 seat for this ass cheek and another seat for this ass cheek.
So they just tie the seatbelts from the 3 across or whatever and just put them together. And
that's what I think. I never been on a plane with her. Thank God.
Nano Narrative says, hopefully Arnold doesn't visit you, Greg, when he might bang your mother-in-law.
Arnold sometimes gets pissed at me, but that's neither there.
He might bang your mother-in-law.
Oh, dude, let me tell you. You know what? He's got no scruples because he probably would. Really? I think she might have the same space between her teeth that he used to have. Go ahead.
Trust Seeker 65. Why hasn't Armand been on After Hours?
Armand's sick. He's got he got some sort of an infection or something like that. So he's sick. He's okay. He'll be back. There's no drama with him. There's no hidden secrets. He just was sick,
Mm-hmm. Ellen Degenerate says, appreciate the response. The honesty is refreshing. Yeah, we're bald Italians.
Thank you, Ellen.
Paul Till says, what is Greg's opinion on former strongman Mayfield?
Yeah.
What do you think of him?
He's talking about like the guy with the big arms. I don't know if I've ever met him or not. Most of the guys from the 90s, Manfred Horrible was from back then. I don't really have an opinion. I guess he's a good guy. You know what I mean? I don't know. I know what you're talking about because he has big arm. People think, oh, Synthol. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. I don't think there was Synthol back then. I think he probably did the same thing I did, was shoot his gear there. I don't know.
Yeah. Steve Z said, Greg gave me the Joe Zapata haircut 20 years ago.
Yes, I did. I'm the first one.
Really?
Yes, I shaved his head.
Did you really?
I shaved his head. Yes, I did. He knows.
Wow.
Anyway, we won't get. He's going to start getting me to do stupid shit on it.
Ben Garcia, Greg, root beer ratings, A&W, Barks, Dad.
I think Bargs is pretty good. Bargs is a really good one. A&W is good too. Both of them too. This is fucking store brand. It's not bad though. I'm used to it. You know what I mean?
Did you like Stewart's?
Stewart's is not bad, but you gotta see this diet. I'm a diabetic, so I can't have anything that's not diet. But this is what is that? Stop and Shop.
Stop and Shop. Yep.
Yeah, Stop and Shop. I don't know where you guys live, but this is $1, $1. You go to anywhere else. I mean, this shit used to be in Walmart 62 cents before, the pandemic, right? The scamdemic. Now no diners are open anymore. You know what I mean? All the places are, everything was over 24 hours. Everything went up. That now, like a liter of Coke, right? It used to be like 79 cents for a liter of Coke like this. Back in the day, the big red sticker on there, on sale, 99 cents, 79 cents. Now that shit's on sale, like $2.99 on sale. I'm like, fuck that. Dude,
Yeah.
I get, like, when Palumbo was over here eating the Lee Haney pasta, I gave him the fucking, like, he was eating my, what do you call it? The fucking grated cheese, right? Now I get the Romano, the real grated cheese. I don't use that shit from bottles and everything. And even he was saying, man, this cheese is amazing, because it's real great. That shit, though, is like fucking $17 a pound. You could get a steak for what you can get a little fucking grated cheese like this for. You know what I mean?
Yep. Holly Holmes says he's doing good. LOL. I guess talking about Rolly.
Well, yes, give him my love.
Paulie Walnuts, Greg, on my first cycle of gear, I'm in my 30s. I can't control my appetite. All I want to do is fuck, eat, lift, and sleep. I put on 25 pounds in 4 weeks, but I'm still lean. Is that normal?
Yeah, I mean, it just depends on if you're obviously you're taking the Bobania, you know what I mean, right? Probably. I mean, you don't put on 20, you don't put on that kind of poundage. I mean, look, that's good, but you got to work too. You can't just do nothing. You know what I'm saying? You have to make sure that your life has, purpose too. You know what I mean?
Truth Seeker 65. Joe, do you think Dave was a good coach? Dave Palumbo? What are you talking about, Dave? Because
Dave's a good coach. Yeah, Dave. Let me tell you,
coach. Great.
he's very knowledgeable. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Knowledgeable,
Dave's very knowledgeable.
A question, I just think some things are with his. If Greg asked me today and said, Joe, I need your help with something, I mean, we wouldn't even hang up over the phone, and I would do it for him. That's
you gotta understand something, okay? Dave was in med school. Unlike all these other guys that are gurus, Dave's not really a guru. He has a medical degree. He was like,
Greg wants to be a doctor.
Joe, you remember that movie? Was it Officer and a Gentleman? What was the one that fucking the guy with the gerbil up his ass fucking did? Was that Officer and a Gentleman? What was the name of that movie?
The gerbil up the ass? I don't remember.
Yeah, what's his name there? Fucking the gerbil up his ass. Richard Gere. Remember Richard Gere?
Okay.
It was that Officer and a Gentleman where, remember the movie where he's going, he's going to get his fucking Navy, he's going to graduate and everything like that. And his friend decides after fucking the whole thing with less than a week to go, his friend Dior means he decides to quit, and he goes, nobody fucking quits. With like less than a week left. What's wrong with you? Well, why did I bring that up? Wait, I was trying to make
it. Yeah, that was Richard Gere, correct.
Yeah, it was Richard Gere. So what I'm trying to say is, why did I bring that up, Joe? I just lost it.
Talking about Dave.
Oh, well, Dave basically was like that guy Sid in the movie. Sid, nobody deal with wars with fucking less than a week left. You went through the whole fucking. Well, Dave went all the way through med school, but he found his calling. He liked the bodybuilding, and hey, listen, Dave's making a great living off bodybuilding, so you can't say anything bad. You know what I mean? He's making a great living.
Yeah,
he makes more than he makes with a doctor. Trust me, he's got supplement. He's got everything going. So, but he was right there he had this much left till he became a full medical doctor, an MD.
Yep, that's true. Narrow Narrative says, Greg, I know what you mean. Sometimes I'll have a belt 5 to 6 times a day. I guess about whacking off maybe. Let's see. Holly said he's back on the OG podcast today. I think he was, or yesterday. I think he had sepsis, didn't he? Yeah.
You're talking about yeah. I think he did have sepsis, yes. She's talking about as Jimmy would say, Armand. She's talking about Armand. I think he did have sepsis, and I'm not sure why. Dave was telling me something like he had the same thing Ronnie had. Ronnie Coleman.
Yeah. Ben Garcia, the one old school guy that I think never gets any credit. I think, Greg, you and him are neck to neck in arm size. Leroy Colbert, remember him?
Sure, I remember Leroy Colbert. He was another one. He was a good guy. He was a big talker. I met him once. He could talk. Boy, he could talk. Between me and him, wait, Joe, who were we talking to with it? I can't even get a word in. I forgot who it was. Yeah, I was even telling Joe, when I can't get a word in, they're really fun. Who was it? Is it
Who
Lee
was
when he's?
Was
It wasn't Lee, was it? No.
not Lee? Who was it that we were talking about?
Who was? We were talking to somebody, and I was like, "Holy fuck, Joe! I can't get a word in." And that's that.
Phil Heath? No, who was it? It was someone we were with, and we were like, Jesus Christ! I mean,
I remember I even said to you, Joe, "Have you ever seen where I can't talk?" You know what I'm saying? You were like, "Holy fuck, can he talk?"
Like, yeah, fuck, this guy can talk. I mean, I thought you could talk. Jesus fucking Christ! You see, by the way, they get rid of pennies.
Yeah,
The government, they're getting rid of pennies. Well, crazy, right?
well, save your pennies because now, well, maybe not now, but when your fucking kids have kids, it'll be worth something 100 years from now. Look, I got pennies. They used to have pennies, you know.
Yeah, exactly. John always said, Greg, you remember RC Cola, 99 cents?
Sure, I do.
That's
Sure, you know, it's funny. I used to drink that before when I used to go to Little League, and I used to have the RC colas, and I used to drink it. You know what I'm saying? I remember one time, I was at the dentist, and he was saying, I looked at what he wrote down and said RC on there, and I said, "How did you know I drank RC cola?" He goes, "I just know," and what it was the right crown, something like that. You know, but I was a kid back then. You know.
John Livia, what's up, fellas? What's up,
Wait,
John? We were just talking about we're on your show. That is the real John, I think.
Are you sure that's the real John? Because, you know, yesterday we had the fake Lee Priest too, you know.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes, we have the real Lee Priest and the fake Lee Priest. And that's why.
But
Joe, text Joe if that's you.
It's probably him. He'll text me. It's probably him. Ben Garcia, Gold's died here in LA. Can you believe it? It's called EOS now, damn it. Yeah, Gold's Gym is done.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, it's back when I was younger, that's where everybody went. It's a different animal today. It's a different. Plus, with all the gym, you know, Planet Fitness is a whore. They whore out. I mean, put down $1 and you get a membership for just $1 down, $15 a month, $10 a month. You know, that's a gym whore. How do you expect to fucking compete with that?
Yep, exactly. Yep, it's me. It's John. He said, yes, it's John.
Oh, it is. Okay, John Livia, my boy. What's going on?
Yeah, we were on John Livia's show on Monday. Great show. We had a great time.
My girlfriend likes him. My girlfriend thinks he's hot.
Yes, it's John. He texted me too. It's him.
John, if you want, I'll let you bang.
John.
You can
because
bang.
You guys have a fake Lee Priest on your show, right? Someone was coming in.
What you mean with Joe
Pietaro? Yes. Someone said he was Lee.
There was real Lee Priest, and then there was the fake Lee Priest. They're both on. And I kept telling Lee, I said, if this is the real Lee, text me. So he texted Lucia, and he said, tell Greg it's me. You know what I mean? So, and he sent the picture. It was him. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, so we knew it was him. But then there was another fake one. I'm saying, Lee, you see the fake one there? That's why you know.
Yeah, exactly. What we got? Greg remembers Cornell soda. Do you remember that? John Livia said, do you remember Cornell soda?
No, I don't remember that one. No, I don't remember that. I drink like root beer. I'm like a big soda drink. When I need flavor, I drink root beer or birch beer or cream soda. I like I'll show you. Hold on. This is the one I drink when I do legs, Joe. I know that sounds crazy. I can't drink water when I do legs. Why? I don't know. Oh, I don't know. You can hear me, right? I drink this. I freeze this shit and I let it like thaw out. And I drink this. It's actually
Polar.
Can you see that? Wait, where's the label? Where is it? It's diet. Right there. Can you see the what?
Polar.
Price, Greg. Yeah, but you see, it's diet. It says birch beer. It doesn't take that. You know what it tastes like? Do you guys remember old time and back in like the 80s? Just have a little glass thing, like this little glass bottle this big. It was called old time cream soda. It was clear. That's what this tastes like. It's diet. This is diet, and it says birch, but it just tastes like kind of cream root beer. Okay, but I drink this because I need something with a flavor. And when I fucking do legs, bro, you have no idea. And I like the bubbles. I know I'm nuts. There's no reason behind what I do, but just I'm nuts.
Ruben Sanchez, is rubbing one out after you work out and rubbing the nut on your arm really help you grow?
No, you know what you got to do? You got to eat it because it's protein. Now, who tells you stupid shit? Rubbing it on your arm.
Jay-Z, Ruben says, Jay-Z, when are you going to have Johnny Bravo on? You know, I talked to Johnny, and he, you know, Johnny likes to do stuff on his channel, and he doesn't really go on a lot of channel podcasts that much. He said he would at one time, but you know,
I'm good friends with
him. But you know, we'll see.
I've been friends with John for a long time, even when he was in Arizona.
Yeah. So we're going to be wrapping up. We're already over an hour. Guys, this Saturday, if you guys are going to be in New York, Credit Union Arena, Soul Folk, I'll be there with Goldberg, Mike Tyson, Sting, the wrestler Sting. Tons of other wrestlers are going to be there. Jake the Snake Roberts, the Godwins, all of these guys are going to be there. Come out, see him, get an autograph picture. you want to hang out, let me know. Just come down and see us. Skip, thank you for jumping in too. All you guys, Richard,
Thank
Dan,
you.
John, Livia, Holly, all you guys. We love you guys. We appreciate you guys. Nano Narratives coming in. Truth Seeker, Ellen Degenerate. Hello, you guys. Ben Garcia, of course. Craig Vasquez. Thank you. Joe Lead Pipe. Thank you, guys.
He's trying to be Casso. He's talking about gas pipe Casso.
Yes, my Castle. Yes.
And my friend Steve, if I get a chance, I'll call you when I'm going to go to the shopping right now. I got to run out to the grocery store.
Okay. You want to call me when you get out?
I'll talk to you, Joe, right away.
Yeah,
but I meant, like, I know if Steve wants to, I'll call him like when I'm going to the grocery store. But
Okay.
I'll talk to right now.
Yeah. All right, brother. Have a good night.
Yeah.
Love you guys.
I love you guys, man. Thanks.
Started from nothing. Jersey streets, we owned it. Jay-Z